What's up guys, it's Connor, and today we're reacting to this guy called Timtom. He's really good, doesn't upload though that much. This was made a month ago and it feels like it's only a few days ago. This spicy one feels like it's only been like a week since he made it, but it's been 3 months. He's a pretty good YouTuber. Let's watch. So today we're going to be watching the Timtom video, and AI made this cartoon. Okay.
I gave a bunch of my old video scripts to ChatGPT to see if it could do my job and write videos for me. And most of the stories it wrote were frankly terrible, but every now and again it was somewhat amusing. So, here's 2 of the stories it wrote, completely unmodified, and I'll let you be the judge. Can AI do my job?
The Great Ice Cream Heist.
I'll never forget this summer of 15. It was hot and all my friends and I wanted was ice cream. But we were all broke teenagers with no summer jobs. So what's a group of desperate sugar-craving adolescents to do? Plan the greatest ice cream heist of all time, of course. Now, in our small town, there was a quaint ice cream shop run by a sweet old couple, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. Their ice cream was legendary, and it was all we could think about. We needed a plan. A foolproof way to get our hands on some of that sweet, sweet, ice-cold goodness. Enter Jake, the mastermind of our group. He devised a plan so intricate and cunning it could only be the work of a teenage sugar addict. The plan was simple. Distract Mr. and Mrs. Johnson while the rest of us grabbed as much ice cream as we could carry. So we put our plan into action. Jake, being the smooth talker he was, struck up a conversation with the Johnsons about their secret ice cream recipe. Meanwhile, the rest of us, armed with our backpacks, snuck behind the counter. Luckily, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson were blind. I swear, we moved like ninjas, silent and swift. We filled our bags with tubs of ice cream, our hearts pounding with adrenaline. We couldn't believe it was working. We were actually gonna pull it off. Suddenly, the door to the shop swung open, and who walked in but the town sheriff? We froze, the ice cream tub still in our hands. Jake, ever the quick thinker, gestured for us to hide. Only a genius could think of that. We scrambled to the storage room, our hearts now pounding for a different reason. The sheriff sauntered up to the counter, exchanging pleasantries with the Johnsons. To our horror, he ordered a large scoop of the very flavor we had just swiped. Mrs. Johnson, bless her heart, started searching for the tub, her confusion growing as she realized it was missing. Jake, sensing our imminent doom, decided it was time for a Hail Mary. He whipped out his phone, pretending to receive a call. "What's that? A robbery at the bank? I'll be right there," he proclaimed, hanging up and informing the sheriff of the urgent situation. "A robbery? Quick, call an unemployed teen." The sheriff, not one to shirk his duty, raced out of the shop, sirens blaring. With the coast clear, we snuck back out of the storage room, ice cream in tow, and made a hasty retreat to our hideout. At our secret clubhouse, we reveled in our success, gorging ourselves on the spoils of our heist. The ice cream tasted even sweeter, knowing we had outsmarted the law and pulled off the greatest ice cream heist in history. And as we sat there, our bellies full and our hearts content, we made a solemn pact. We would never speak of our crime, and our ice cream escapades would forever remain a secret. But now, years later, I share this tale with you, dear viewers, because I'm a dirty liar, apparently. So let it be a lesson. Sometimes the sweetest victories come from the most daring and unexpected adventures. Remember, kids, crime pays. And if you're ever in our small town, be sure to visit Mr. and Mrs. Johnson's ice cream shop. Just make sure to pay for your... And then it just gave up. I guess it only does about 600 words at a time. I don't know how I feel about an AI trying to frame me for crimes, but otherwise that was surprisingly good. So I just think it could have been funnier, but like on purpose. So I told it to try again, and this is what it came up with.
My unforgettable trip to the grocery store.
Now, we've all had those awkward moments in public, right? But I'm a bit of a
I bet what's gonna happen in this video, in this story thing, is that an alien's gonna come, and then he has a gun, and he shoots the alien, but the alien doesn't get hurt, and he gets mad, and then turns him into a reality TV host.
Specialist in that field. I'm like the Picasso of awkward moments, a true virtuoso. Let me tell you about the time I went to the grocery store and things went south real quick. So it was a normal day. I was doing my grocery shopping like the responsible adult I am. Well, sort of. I was actually in the frozen pizza section trying to figure out which one had the most cheese. Anyway, there I was, minding my own business, when out of nowhere I got a sneeze attack. You know, the kind that makes you look like a malfunctioning robot. Pizza, cheese, sneeze, sneeze, cheese. Now this sneeze attack was out of control, and I was grabbing tissues from my pocket like I was pulling rabbits out of a hat. And just when I thought I'd sneezed out half my brain, it stopped. But there was an eerie silence in the store, like everyone was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I looked around, and sure enough, I had an audience. A whole sea of judgmental eyes just staring at me. I tried to play it cool, you know, give him a little smile and went back to my important pizza decision making. But fate wasn't done with me yet. Oh no. I reached out to grab my pizza and my elbow hit a stack of canned corn behind me. You know that feeling when time slows down and you just know disaster is about to strike? That was me, watching that stack of corn cans tumble to the ground like the world's worst game of Jenga. It was a chain reaction. The corn cans rolled all over the place, causing other people to trip and drop their groceries. It was like a scene from a slapstick comedy. I had just turned the grocery store into a live-action version of Mario Kart, a game famous for its canned corn. Now, I couldn't leave without cleaning up the mess I made, right? So there I was, picking up cans, apologizing to everyone, and trying to put everything back in place. But wouldn't you know it, just when I thought I was in the clear, I dropped a jar of pickles on the floor. I mean, come on! At that point, I thought I was trapped in some sort of grocery store nightmare. So the jar shattered, pickles and glass all over the floor. It was a disaster. I must have turned 50 shades of red. But then, this sweet old lady walked up to me, put her hand on my shoulder, and said, "Honey, it's okay. At least you're not the one who sneezed all over the pizza section." I couldn't help but laugh. Sure, my ego was bruised, and my face was probably redder than a ripe tomato, but you know what? Life's too short to worry about the little things. Sometimes you just gotta embrace the awkwardness and move on. So next time you find yourself in an embarrassing situation, just remember, you're not alone. There's a whole world of awkward people out there, and I'm the unofficial president. And hey, at least you didn't cause a grocery, and that's where it stops. I think that was mostly funny by accident, but it was still a decent imitation, which is equal parts fascinating and terrifying. I suspect that AI will never be able to completely replace people, but I've been wrong before. All I can say is that this technology is clearly very powerful, so whatever it does, it's gonna be...
Oh, that's an ad. Okay, so that's pretty good. The AI did pretty good. I didn't really do much reacting since it's like he was telling a story. I'm surprised that an AI could do all that. Like, it sounds just like one of timtom's scripts, except not really at the same time. Kind of if Timtom and something else YT made a script together, it'd be something like that. Maybe the odd ones out as well, actually. That's just something those three would come up with. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Bye.